Hi, this is Jennifer Boylston from Jenny's Garden, and today from Jenny's Computer, we're going to ask, what is a shortcut? Have you ever been looking around for a favorite website or a file or a program and you just can't remember where you put it? You just want to get there. So instead of searching and poking around, you can actually save these files and these websites as a shortcut, and then you could get to them very quickly next time you want to go to them. Shortcuts do exactly what their names say. They take you from one place to another very quickly. So it'll take you from your computer's root directory, which is your C drive, or from the internet when you first open it up, right to the source. So if you have a very long root directory path, say that you have several file folders that this image or this file is sitting in, you can actually make a shortcut to it so that you could click it and it takes you straight there. The same with the websites. So I know that some people like to do their banking online, so you can make a shortcut to your bank account. So you just double click it and boom, you're right into it. So let's talk about how we're going to make shortcuts, and you can make different types of shortcuts in different places on your computer. And of course with computers there are different ways to do it. So let's talk about making shortcuts to your different folders. So down here on your libraries, we'll click on the libraries first and open that up. And if you notice, we're in the libraries for documents and everything. I'm going to come up here under my favorites. I've saved my different folders that I like to get to and use a lot. And up here is the path that I was talking about. So we have the main disk is the C drive. If I had any kind of a memory key or an external drive plugged in, then they would be down here under the computer, maybe as the F or the G drive, whatever the computer assigns it when you put it into the USB drive. And then the folders that I've been routed to is under users and J.E. Boylston. And then I had a folder in my desktop under this user account, and that's where these different folders sit within this folder right here. And almost think of a filing cabinet, right? So here is your main filing cabinet, which is your disk drive. And then this is your drawer. And then these are your different sections and your different files within that drawer. Now on your files, you can make them so that they are alphabetized. So under name, if I click on the name, it will alphabetize them for me. Or I could I could sort them by date. So if I click on date right here, it will alphabetize them by, or it will sort them by date, by the date modified, or by the file type. Now all these are file folders except this Google Chrome down here at the bottom. So if I want to take my YouTube Academy folder and make it a shortcut so I can get to it very quickly whenever I'm working on YouTube Academy, I just want it out on my desktop, I can hover over it, and using my mouse I click on the right key, right mouse button, and I get my right mouse menu, and I'm going to go down to my Send To, and there's a Send To desktop, and it says Create Shortcut. I'm going to left click it once and look over here. Boom, baby. There it is. So let's close this window here so we can see this better. And if I grab this, I can move it over here if I want to. So there's my YouTube Academy shortcut. If I double click on that, if you notice, my path is exactly the same, but there's all my files. So I'm actually skipping all the steps of going into the library and going down the path. I'm going from the desktop, boom, into this folder. And then I can quickly get to the files that I need whenever I'm working on my YouTube channel. Okay, so that's one way that you can do a shortcut. Now, for example, if I wanted to have this particular image out on the desktop, I can do that one of two ways. I can either drag and drop the image and just have it move to the desktop so the image itself is on the desktop. That means that it is locally on the desktop. Or I could put this back into the folder and I could create a shortcut to it. So I could right click on it again and say send to, create a shortcut. So the file is not, you'll notice there's a little arrow right here that tells you it's a shortcut. The file itself is not housed on the desktop. It's not in that location, but there's a shortcut on the desktop that takes me to the location where the file is housed. Okay, so see the difference? And that's very important. So I'm going to make a copy of this. I'm going to copy, right click, and I'm going to go down to my right menu, and I'm going to choose copy, and then I'm going to paste it, and I'll show you why in a second. So we're going to put that. Let's close this up. So the reason I wanted to show you this is whenever you delete a shortcut, if I right click and I delete this shortcut, it's going to send the shortcut to the recycle bin, but the picture is still in the YouTube Academy folder, right? Because that was just a shortcut. This right here, if I right click and delete this picture, because it is an actual picture, it's gone. Because it is an actual picture on the desktop. Now, I still had a copy of it here in the folder, so I'm good to go. So I hope that makes sense for you guys. Let me know in comments if you had any questions on that. So we talked about making a shortcut of a file onto your desktop or a folder. What if we want to do a website? So down here I've got my Chrome browser open. I'm going to click on it, and I went and I searched for shortcut, and I found it in Wikipedia, which is the free encyclopedia online. Now, Wikipedia, people can go in and change things, so just make sure that you always double check your sources if you're going to be doing any kind of research. And I'm going to restore this page so that it's a little smaller. So remember I showed you how to do this in What is a Window. We're going to restore down. And then I'm going to drop this down a little. So if I want to save the shortcut to this web page, I can do it very easily. This bar right here, where the web address is, the URL, has an icon. See this little lock? And if I grab that, I'm going to left click on it and hold my left click down. I'm going to drag it out to the desktop and drop it. So I'm dragging and dropping. So I dragged that URL out to the desktop and it created a shortcut for me to this web page. So if I close my web browser out and I double click on my shortcut, it opens that page for me. So you could do this with your bank account or with your favorite restaurant menu or anything like that. Now personally, I don't like to have a lot of shortcuts on my desktop. It's just the way I like to always keep my desk clean. So I take my shortcuts and I put them on my taskbar up here. So if you look at my taskbar on my browser, so I click it and I drag it and I drop it on my taskbar. And then whenever I open up my browser, if I want to go to Yelp, then I can click on my Yelp icon and I can look up a restaurant that I want to go to and see what their ratings are. Or if I want to write a review or anything like that. So we can see what the newest review of the day is. Okay, very nice. So we did a shortcut for a folder, a shortcut for a file. We did a shortcut for a browser on a browser taskbar. If this shortcut name is too long and it's hard for you to read, if you hover over it and you right click and get your right click menu, you'll notice in the menu you'll find rename. So if you left click once and rename, the name will get highlighted in blue. Then you can overtype it. So then we could call this shortcut wiki. And then you hit, what I did is I typed in shortcut wiki and I hit enter and it renamed it for me. All right. Now the last thing I'd like to show you is how to create a shortcut for a program. So if I go down to my start button, because we all have to start somewhere. I think that's why they named it the start button, because you have to start somewhere. So click here. And let's say we're going to make a shortcut for Word. So you can either pin it to your taskbar, which will pin it down here. You can pin it to your start menu, which it is right now. Or you can once again left click on it. Oh, sorry, I opened it. I'm going to click back on my start button. And I'm going to left click and drag it out to I am going to open it. I'm going to left click on it and drag it out to my desktop. And now we have the program out on my desktop for a shortcut. So if I double clicked it, it would open it. Boom, like that. Okay. Now, the one thing I wanted to show you so that you would not get worried if you did this, say that you decided you didn't like having the program shortcut up here. If you right click and you delete it, you're going to get a larger warning that says, are you sure you want to do this? It will not uninstall the program, which is good. If you delete a program shortcut, it's just removing it from the desktop. It won't get rid of your Word program or whatever program you're deleting shortcut for. You have to go into your control panel to do that. So it's just telling you it's not going to get rid of the program. So if you accidentally load something on there, like some kind of spyware, and you delete the shortcut, it's telling you you need to go uninstall the program too. Okay? So that is our tutorial on what is a shortcut. I hope that you got some good information from it. If you would like to follow this blog, please go to https://jeboylston.com. That is my blog. You can also subscribe to it. And I hope you have a great day. If you click the little I in the corner of the video, my web address is up there too. Thanks a lot and have a great day.